Your breath is your teacher. Your breath is your savior. You must be with your breath. Meditation is most activity of an intelligent man. If you are intelligent, how do you apply your intelligence? Only in meditation. Spend time in meditation. 24 hours are there per day for you and for me. What do we do? Indulge in wasteful talk with wasteful people around us? No, you must live with yourself. You must spend time with yourself. You must be with your breath. Yoga means union. Union with yourself. Union with your own breath. Not union with others. No. You have to embrace yourself.
Hi friends, very good evening and good morning. I welcome you all for today's Saturday's masterclass. So as we all know, we will be having a great session from Jagadish sir. Before that, we all will practice that mindfulness meditation for the next 40 minutes. Then we will have our session with sir. So the meditation which we practice here is called as breath mindfulness meditation. Breath mindfulness meditation is all about observing our own normal natural breath. To enhance our breath mindfulness meditation practice, at the beginning we will do heart elevation. So heart elevation is a process where we bring up our enhanced emotions like love, compassion, gratitude. So let us all practice the meditation first. As you all see in the slide which has been shared, the posture will be like we will be sitting comfortably and crossing our feet, keeping our hands on our chest area and closing our eyes. And we are bringing up that emotions. That is a process of heart elevation. Anjali, can you go to the next slide of breath mindfulness meditation? So when it comes to the breath mindfulness meditation, we clap our hands and put in our lap. And if you are sitting on the chair, we cross our feet, both in heart elevation process and as well as breath mindfulness meditation process. So let us all sit in meditation. We will be playing the music. Anjali, you can play the music now.
Dear friends, dear masters, with your specs removed and eyes closed, if you keep your hands on your chest area, rest your attention on your sacred heart. With a slow, long, relaxing breath, can you feel your beautiful heart? Feel the beat of your heart center, the seat of all emotions. which is nurturing all life. With its energies of love, joy, gratitude, compassion, can you recollect an experience from your past or from your present where you felt enormous love, gratitude, compassion? Relive that moment and feel that energy inside your beautiful heart, your body. The more you experience that energy, that emotion, the more coherent you become in your mind and heart, the more coherent you become with that field of energy around us. Can you set an intention to radiate this energy of love, of joy to all things and everybody on this planet Earth, to heal? Where your attention goes, there the energy flows. Relive that moment of love, joy, gratitude. Feel that energy and have that intention and to send that energy to everybody and everything. Slowly, let's go into breath mindfulness meditation. With your fingers into fingers, hands comfortably rested in your lap. Observe your normal, natural in-breath and the out-breath. your in-breath and the out-breath. No forceful inhalation, no forceful exhalation. Observe your breath. The thoughts become lesser and lesser. Our mind slowly becomes empty. It is natural to have thought. If you recognize you are thinking, Go back to observing your breath, dear friends, and allow yourself to slowly become empty. And allow yourself to experience that emptiness inside of you, all around you. mind becomes empty, when our mind is becoming empty, we channelize all that energy into the present moment. Our body functions at its natural best. We increase our power of thought. Be with your breath. Allow yourself to merge into your breath and allow yourself to experience that emptiness, the blackness of no body, of no thing. As you empty your mind of thought, you move away from matter. You experience that emptiness, that greater quantum field of energy. Emptiness is energy. This is the field of unlimited possibilities. Everything that you ever experienced or will experience is here in this field of energy. The longer you stay aware of this emptiness, that energy. The more experiences you draw into your life, if you find yourself distracted in thought, go back to observing your breath, dear friends. is the field of unknown. The longer you stay aware of this emptiness, this blackness, the more miraculous you become, the more insightful you become. Allow yourself to merge into the emptiness of yourself. This is your divine self, your consciousness, that awareness. This time, let's express gratitude. Gratitude moves us into coherence to help us create more. Can you express gratitude to your parents, your teachers and mentors? Your gratitude to all the people in your life. Your family, your friends, colleagues, relatives, everybody. Give thanks to this grand nature, the bird, the fish, and the animals. Express gratitude to everything you use, the technology, the system, the government, the companies that support our lives in many, many ways. Gratitude to yourself for caring for you, for caring for others, and gratitude to this intelligent universe for helping us experience so much more in this life. Relax your body and let your autonomous nervous system repair your body.
I am beautiful. I am powerful. I've let go of my past and celebrate who I've become. I am beautiful. I am powerful. And I celebrate who I am. I am beautiful. I am powerful. I've let go of my past and celebrate who I've become. I am beautiful.
Recollect your experiences from the session. How did you feel? What did you see? And whenever you're ready, you can keep your hands on your eyes for 5 seconds, and then you may open your eyes.
Welcome back, friends. Hope you all had a great meditation. So today our master class is all about nihilism from Jagadish sir. So before starting our master class, I wanted to have a little small intro about Jagadish sir. So he's having 30 years of experience as a professor in IIM, and he was a founder for Asian School of Business in Trivandrum. and he has the degree in physics and mathematics, and his major work and contribution towards the as a professor in IIM, and he has many papers in information technology as well. And mostly, he's a very great mentor for Buddha CEO Quantum Foundation from the beginning. So we are very happy to invite sir for today's masterclass. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Ladni. Ladni, is it possible to make me a co-host so I can share some video clip?
Sure, sir. Anjali will make you the co-host.
Okay, fine, right.
Anjali, please make Jagadish sir co-host. Yeah, she made you, sir.
Okay. So, greetings, friends, dear masters. We all mostly know what meditation can do and how we can get a nice life, so on and so forth. That is what is the main theme, but I would like to take today through a slightly different angle. It's a kind of a random walkthrough about existence itself, the way most of us exist most of the time, and which is why I call it nihilism, which I will explain to you what it is as we go on by. So before we therefore start, let me share a clip here. It is a beginning of a very famous play of 1950s. I'll explain to you as we go on. So what I would like you to do is to very carefully watch the two characters, what they say to each other, the ambience, the stage setting over there. All this has relevance to what I'm going to talk to you, start with. Okay? So please watch from this point, just a few minutes before I then talk to you about it.
Nothing to be done.
I'm beginning to come round to that opinion. All my life I've tried to put it from me, saying, Vladimir, be reasonable. You haven't yet tried everything. And I resumed the struggle. So, there you are again.
Am I?
I'm glad to see you back. I thought you were gone forever.
Me too.
Together again at last. We'll have to celebrate this. But how? Get up till I embrace you.
Not now, not now.
May one inquire where His Highness spent the night?
In a ditch.
A ditch? Where?
Over there.
And they didn't beat you?
Beat me. Certainly they beat me.
The same lot as usual?
The same, I don't know.
When I think of it, all these years, but for me, where would you be? You'd be nothing more than a little heap of bones at the present minute, no doubt about it.
What of it?
That's too much for one man. On the other hand, what's the good of losing heart now? That's what I say. We should have thought of it 1,000,000 years ago, when the world was young.
Stop blathering and help me off with this bloody thing.
Hand in hand, from the top of the Eiffel Tower, among the first. We were presentable in those days. Now it's too late. They wouldn't even let us up.
Oh,
What are you doing?
taking off my boot. Did that never happen to you?
Boots must be taken off every day. I'm tired telling you that. Why don't you listen to me?
Help me.
It hurts.
Hurts. He wants to know if it hurts.
No one ever suffers but you. I don't count. I'd like to hear what you'd say if you had what I have.
It hurts.
Hurts. He wants to know if it hurts.
You might button it all the same.
True. Never neglect the little things of life.
And what do you expect? You always wait until the last moment.
The last moment. Hope deferred. Make it the something sick. Who said that?
Why don't you help me?
Sometimes I feel it coming all the same. Then I go all queer. how shall I say, relieved, and at the same time, appalled. Appalled. Funny? Nothing to be done. Well?
Nothing.
Show.
There's nothing to show.
I'll try and put it on again.
I'll air it for a bit.
There's man all over for you, blaming on his boots the fault of his feet. This is getting alarming. One of the thieves was saved. It's a reasonable percentage. Go.
What?
Suppose we repented.
Repented what?
Oh, we wouldn't have to go into the details.
Our being born?
One daren't even laugh anymore.
Oh, dreadful privation.
Merely smile. Yeah, it's not the same thing. Nothing to be done. Go.
What is it?
Do you ever read the Bible?
The Bible? Yeah, I must have taken a look at
Do
it.
you remember the Gospels?
I remember the maps of the Holy Land. Colour they were. Very pretty. The Dead Sea was pale blue. The very look of it made me thirsty. That's where we'll go, I used to say. That's where we'll go for our honeymoon. We'll swim. We'll be happy.
You should have been a poet.
I was. Isn't that obvious?
Where was I? How's your foot?
Swelling visibly.
Ah, yes, two thieves. Do you remember the story?
No.
Shall I tell it to you?
No.
It'll pass the time. Two thieves crucified at the same time as our Saviour.
Our what?
Our Saviour. Two thieves. One is supposed to have been saved, and the other... damned.
Saved from what?
Hell.
I'm going.
And yet, how is it... Now, this is not boring you, I hope. How is it that of the four evangelists, only one speaks of a thief being saved? The four of them were there. Or thereabouts. And only one speaks of a thief being saved. Come on, Go. Return the ball, can't you, once in a way?
I find this really most extraordinarily interesting.
1 out of 4. Of the other 3, 2 don't mention any thieves at all, and the third says that both of them abused him.
Who?
What?
What's all this about? Abused who?
The Saviour.
Why?
Because he wouldn't save them.
From hell.
Imbecile, from death.
And what of it?
And the 2 of them must have been damned.
And why not?
But one of the 4 says that one of the 2 was saved.
They don't agree, that's all. There's to it.
But all 4 were there, and only one speaks of a thief being saved. Why believe him rather than the others?
Who believes him?
Everybody. It's the only version they know.
Oh, people are bloody ignorant apes. Charming spot. Inspiring prospects. Let's go.
We can't.
Why not?
We're waiting for Goddo.
Oh, yes. You sure it was here?
What?
That we were to wait.
He said by the tree. Do you see any others?
What is it?
I don't know. A willow.
And where are the leaves?
Okay. Nothing to be done. Did you observe that? How many times these two characters repeated nothing to be done? Now, this particular clip I showed you is how the very famous play by Samuel Beckett called Waiting for Godot in the 1950s. Actually, this play of Samuel Beckett totally changed the genre of play to what is known as the play of the absurd. Do you realize why? As you go along, I'm not going to show you the entire play. But the point is, if you look at it, look at the scene setting there. Does it make sense? If you had a plot, yes. But do you know that this play doesn't have any plot at all? Does it make sense when these two keep talking only about these names of these two characters who are Vladimir and Extragon. Extragon is the one with the foot, with a bad foot. He can't open his shoes, so he's worried about his shoes. Vladimir is the one with a very bad prostate problem, and he gets relieved only when he eases himself. Both have these problems, but they are looking at something above, talking about the Bible, and in a setting which is totally barren, nothing to be done. Tell me, how often have we ourselves not felt this in our existence? Nothing to be done. You say, yeah, nothing to be done. What am I right now? If you say there is something that I have to do, I have to give you, I got to make this, give this talk, liked by people or not. This is a task that is given to me, and I'm doing it. It's not nothing. But if you look at the larger context of my life itself, do I know what is to be done? This is the basic issue of existence. There are several aspects of existence, and this one are very fundamental existence, where you are helpless. Incidentally, the point where I stopped the video, you must have, what did they say? They know, so what are they? So shall we go? He said, where are you going? We had to wait here. Wait for what? Wait for whom? Wait for Godot. Is this the place he asked us to come? Yes, it seems to be. That means they had come here before. They've been coming here before. I didn't continue the stage. Later on say, who is Godot? They haven't seen him. They don't know who he is. They don't know what he is. They don't even know why they are waiting for God. Let me take a little digression over here. Those of you who are in Bombay, we are very familiar with this kind of a situation. You see, I have a lot of cousins in Bombay, and they would come to Bangalore on a holiday, and I was to be here, and then I need to entertain them, right? A group of youngsters. So we'll go around different places like MG Road, Brigade Road, go shopping, ogle at pretty girls, and maybe go and to a coffee shop, sip coffee. But these guys, after doing all this, my cousins from Bombay would all say, hey, in Bangalore, nothing can be done. There's nothing to do. These are the people, when they go back home, they don't feel like this. Why? Because their life is completely determined. They get up early morning, 6 o'clock, they catch their local, commute to work. They slog their minds and physics in doing whatever task they have got. Evening, they catch back the local, commute another hour. They come back home too tired to do anything. They probably watch TV, take out their shoes, sip a coffee, and probably eat something, read a newspaper, relax, and the next morning they're up to again. Even if they want to do anything, there's no way they can do it, because their life is entirely determined by the expediency of an external entity, an external force that forces them to do what they are doing. So when they come out on a holiday to Bangalore, where they don't have to do this, nothing can be done, because suddenly they find they become responsible for their life. As long as they are not responsible for it, as long as an external expediency is determining their daily life, even though they're unhappy, they're comfortable with it. They don't have to take responsibility for it. But once they get a chance to take life in their own hands, they can make choices of what to do, how they can take their lives in, nothing can be done. This is a very fundamental problem. Whatever we may say, we often go through this situation. Nothing to be done. Even as we meditate sometimes, though of course we are Probably meditators have a little better advantage over this. We keep talking about getting into healing ourselves, getting into a consciousness state of affairs, getting in touch with the masters. Why? We need to do something. What is it that we need to do something? Who are we seeking for? That question is a very big question. Do we always have answers for it? This is the fundamental question of existing itself. Now, this apart, so what happens is, as our mind is confused like this, in fact, there's another aspect of it here in this very plate. On that tree, there's a noose. Suddenly they see a noose, hanging. And they said, okay, so let's hang ourselves. Nothing to be done. We don't know what Godo is. Let's go and hang ourselves. But then between estrogen and Vladimir, they keep prompting the other person to hang himself first. That is the joke. That's the comment. Albert Camus says, in fact, human beings have only two choices: to live or not to live. Kierkegaard, an existential philosopher, made it much better. He said, he used the word thrownness. We are thrown into this river of finitude. There's a time limit. There's a finitude. You're thrown into it. Now, people like Estrogen and Vladimir, and probably many of us at the time, we don't know what to do. We are just thrown. Now, actually, if you are capable, what are the two things you can do? You can learn to swim along. You can even float consciously. Or better still, as they say, even you swim, go with the flow. Like Herman says, Siddharth, ultimate joy is in being with the flow. But most of the time we are like Vladimir Estrogen. What do? When throwing this word, we are just floating what you call junk water, this floating piece of wood. We just don't know what. We're floating in the water until one day probably we vanish, because our only idea of life is existing in this world, in the material. But what do we do often when this kind of a thing is there? Like they do, we look for somebody, like my cousins, look for always outside force. So what is that? They look for somebody to come help, some redemption. There is somebody or something called Godo, we don't even know what it is, who hopefully will take them away from this situation, which is called nihilism. Nihilism means feeling helpless, don't know why you are living, don't know what you have to do, don't know how to do it, don't even know why existence is at all there. It's a question of meaningless of life. There you must have heard many people say, there's no meaning in life. It's a very powerful term if you understand in the proper context. But you should never say the statement, to my mind, to younger people who are immature minds, not young people, who are immature philosophically, particularly. If there's no meaning in life, it can be completely destroyed. The meaninglessness of life should be understood, because if you know what is meaningless, you will try to put meaning into that. I don't know if I'm trying to make this pretty complicated. I'll have to ease this down slowly, gradually, of course, not immediately. I would like to shake you up today. Like I told you, there are random thoughts of existence. I will shake you up from this calmness. So, normally what do we do is look for somebody else to come and redeem for from what we don't know. And that is not Godo. They don't even know who Godo is. So at Godo, they have to go to a particular place, a totally desolate. Look at the setting. Totally isolated area. One tree. This man sleeps in a ditch. They don't even remember. They only are thinking only about their immediate pain. One, his pain in the foot, the other pain in his prostate gland. Isn't that what we do? All the time we are thinking about our problems, our worries, and hoping that somebody, somewhere along the time, come, we do something, and probably we'll get relieved. Omar Khayyam, my favorite mystic poet, puts it beautifully. He says, and this inverted bowl we call the sky, beneath which we live and die, lift not thy hands to it in vain, for it rolls on impotently as thou and I. But what do we do? Go do up there. Look up. Ready? Look for it. Right? Fortunately, at least during the momentary times, that where we have faith is, you may say meditation is one of the methods, that whatever faith in us is, whatever we are doing, we are trying to be conscious, being aware, trying to feel who we are and what is it we need to do. Question you ask yourself, not like these two gentlemen, but sincerely ask yourself, what is it I need to do? And apply your creative mind towards it. Probably will get to know what, not one, but several things that you can do, and you will attempt to do. There was a, I forget when, a TEDx TED talk that I heard. He said, look, the problem we don't do things is, of course, fear of failure, one of the main things. And the reason is, he says, we don't even attempt a second time. And this lady was giving the talk that you should try at least 10 times. The formula of 10, the 10%. And you're bound to succeed at least once, whatever you. In fact, there's a slightly different, again, to bring horror to this existence. You must have heard of Albert Camus. He was a Nobel Prize existence philosopher. He used to focus on this aspect. Okay, he was the one who said there are only two choices, whether you live or not to live. And he used to focus on this meaninglessness of life. But he also used to say there's a need to accept it, however meaningless you may find it to be. In the Greek mythology, there is a king called Sisyphus. Okay, and these people used to fight with the gods. I won't go into the details. For some, he had annoyed the god Zeus, and Zeus wanted to take revenge on him. So when ultimately he actually dies old age, in fact, he cheats death. When he is died, actually he goes and ties up Satan himself and doesn't allow him. So ultimately, when he dies of old age, he's punished. How? He is asked to take a huge boulder and push it up to a mountain, steep mountain. When he's moving into the steep mountain and lets go, the boulder starts rolling back. He has to again roll it. This is his punishment, revenge. He has to keep moving up the boulder and wait for it. So what does he do? He realizes he has to do that, and it's an acceptance. Now, his acceptance, according to Camus, is two things. Acceptance of a totally fatalistic thing, or acceptance of doing something in spite of finding it futile. Why I'm raising this particular issue is, many of us, when this kind of a situation is, and many of us work, quite often we end up doing our work, particularly as employees of corporate bodies, so on and so forth. We find what we are doing is futile. But then, do we become helpless? Oh, nothing to do. I'm helpless. So the boss, I have to do what the boss says. I have to work so that the boss can earn, the company can earn. No. Sisyphus kind of acceptance is, even though it is futile, this is something I need to do because it gives me at least something to keep myself occupied. I don't mean that's in that sense, occupied. Something you would start liking to do because that will give you the strength to do something else later on. If we give up, we lose our physical body. We lose the mental clarity, and we won't be able to do anything other than what Nothing to do is what we live with. You may kind of say, hey, there's nothing, I know what to do. But that is the very reason I am trying to shake you all up. There are many times we reach this situation. Haven't you had situations where haven't had situations like sometimes when you feel very uncomfortable? You don't know why. Haven't you had the situation? It's called ennui, ENNUI. We have these states of ennui. These are moments we feel very uncomfortable. We think we need to have to do something, but we don't know what we have to do. But these are very ephemeral states. This is a natural process. These are points of what, you know, in any cyclical thing, you have the states of inflection, they say. The peak and the bottom. From there, it either go down or go up. So these states of ennui are points of inflection. It's that point when we reflect. But many times, what do we do? I'll tell you. Whenever a state of ennui, what do we do? Oh, what do we do? But go and switch on the TV. Go and eat some snacks. We do something to forget this state of ennui. The best thing is to relax during this times of ennui. Okay, it is a point of inflection, and then this inflection will vanish. Now, so this is the kind of ennui that we go through is only transitional. If we let that carry through, like by eating, just watching TV, going eating snacks, or taking a nap is okay, provided you really need it. But you don't know, so just go, let me just lie down, stretch myself on the sofa. This leads to ultimately the same situation as nihilism, helplessness. This is what I'm trying to point out. As human beings, as existence philosophers themselves say, you're not helpless. You're not helpless. In fact, in the earlier centuries, the 18th and up to the 19th centuries, more so pronounced in Western culture, in all cultures, yes, probably, but we know about Western cultures, women were not given any importance at all. They were considered to have no brains. A woman talk about mathematics will be considered a witch. I'm not joking. There's enough evidence of these. Right. Okay. In fact, in old Greek, what is the name? At the moment, I forget the name of this lady. Her father was a mathematician, so she learnt mathematics and she has started talking about it. But the patriarch of that particular place, okay, near Athens, he came to know, and you know what he did? He created a mass opinion against her. And it is said that once she was driving, she was dragged out of the chariot when she was driving, stripped naked, and skinned to the bones using seashells in public. That is how cruelly women are. And there are many stories like this, even modern times. But that is where Simone de Beauvoir came. They always depended that it was only a man they have to depend on. But Simone de Beauvoir wrote this book called The Second Sex, where she said, hey, women, don't expect, like Godot, don't expect men are your Godot. Better take charge of your own life. Better do what you want to do. That she was an existential. In fact, she was the not really a married wife, but she was the partner of Sartre, another existentialist. So yes, Hypatia, correct. That's the lady I was talking about, the Greek. So anyway, so when she said that, this has started what is called the women's suffragette movement in the West. You must have heard of It's the women's suffragette movement that started, which forced them to. Otherwise, women didn't have voting rights either in UK or in the US. The women's suffragette movement started. So it was Simone de Beauvoir, an existentialist, said you can do something, you better do something. So this is what we mean. So even in existentialism, how do we exist? There is this state of helplessness. Helplessness created by whom? By ourselves, by our thinking. There's another issue because it's even want to do something, we create limiting beliefs, right? We limit ourselves by creating a personality, so on and so forth. But the state of helplessness that we're in is unwarranted. Universe has not made you helpless. The universe has given you a purpose in life. If only Vladimir and Estragon could think about, find out what their purpose is. How do you find that purpose? You need the clarity of thinking. When your mind is totally jumbled with their own worries, like the foot and their problems, then you don't have the clarity. You need to organize the mind. This is where being silence or meditation, or according to J. Krishnamurti, it is the silencing the mind that you talk about. When you do that, your mind gets organized like a bookshelf, clean bookshelf, or a cupboard, closed cupboard, where you know which book is where, which cloth is there, right? So you can access them easily, you can store them easily, etc. That clarification to the guy, then you start thinking about, okay, what is my purpose? Need not be an ultimate purpose. Purpose at least cannot be momentary. What is my purpose? I myself, honestly, I still don't know what my purpose is. But I know I'm in the flow simply because I have been through so many careers, so many stages of my life, so many ambitions, so many passions I have had. But every time it has been for that momentary purpose that I have led. I know they were my purposes simply because, though I don't know what purpose was, simply because I have been comfortable with. So ultimately, sorry, I had to keep referring to these people. Oscar Wilde, a great playwright who used to always be cynical, a satirist of the English society, wrote this wonderful novelette. He was a playwright, the only novelette he wrote called The Picture of Dorian Gray. You know, this story, maybe one could talk about it one day. There is this very nice person, very handsome, young, rich man. His friend is a beautiful painter. He paints Dorian Gray. His name is Dorian Gray. A beautiful image of him. And he wishes, says, the other friend of his, he says, oh my God, see, but you keep growing old and you keep losing your face, etc. But look at this painting, will always serve me beautiful. It is always there. That struck his head. Oh my God, why should it be like that? Why can't the painting turn old while I remain? Circumstances happen. Okay, his mind changes. Is the painting that starts turning ugly as he starts getting evil thoughts on it. Why do I bring that point over here? We often have what is called a facade. We have inner things, we know what we are, but we hide that from the outsider, which behavioral scientists, okay, they call it the state of facade. And we often live in the state of facade. But once you know your purpose, what you want to do, you can reduce this state of facade, be more open, so people in turn can communicate with you, and then give you the ideas that you need on how to lead your life. So once you find the purpose, your choice is not just to live or not to live. Your choice is, how do I achieve that purpose? There are several ways of choosing choice. Unfortunately, while nature has given us the need to make a choice, she has hidden from ourselves how to make that choice. Which is why, however intelligent we may be, we often end up making a bad choice. Now, at least as meditators, as people who I assume look for clarity of the mind, an organized mind must realize that there's nothing wrong having made a wrong choice. It is the way nature works. Only when you own it, only when you accept it, will you be able to change. You cannot see, this is one aspect of self-esteem. Accepting or ownership of your decision, and then integrity. You mean what you say, you mean what you think. You think of one thing, but your actions are different. That is loss of integrity. These two go together, create a strong self-esteem and create a power. So, to go back what I was saying, so once you see, you realize that even if you have made a wrong choice, instead of hiding it behind a facade, accept it, even openly. Yes, you have made a mistake. Nothing wrong that you have made of having made a mistake. Once you owned it, either you yourself or other well-meaning people will tell you, therefore, what action you can take to correct this. Right? Now, just I would like to keep rest of there are a lot of things I can go on rambling about this, and I told you because I don't know. It's too much into your head, and I don't want to complicate the situation. I like to play the last bit of this play again. I'll share that. Just watch the very last bit. What happens to these two? Just watch this carefully.
What's wrong with you?
Nothing.
I'm going.
So am I.
Was I long asleep?
I don't know.
Where shall we go?
Not far.
Oh, yes. Let's go far away from here.
We can't.
Why not?
We have to come back tomorrow
What for?
to wait for Godot.
Ah, yes. He didn't come.
See that? Sorry, okay. I'll stop there. What's it? Once again, I'll stop this. Okay. You heard them? They're not going back. What? They're coming back again tomorrow. Why? For Godot. So just before this, a little boy comes and tells them Godot is not coming today. And say, is he coming tomorrow? He said he'll come tomorrow. We're the same place. This is exactly what we do when we're helpless. This is the peak of nihilism. And do we want to be nihilistic? That is the question. Remember, this play was written and played post-war. Samuel Beckett, author, he himself was there during both the world wars, and during the World War II, he was actually in the resistance movement, waiting for waiting for when the world will end. So you must understand also why he brought this nihilistic state. The question we should ask ourselves is, do we want to be nihilistic? Do we want to take charge of our lives? I leave that as a question to yourself. You decide whether you want to take charge of your life or you want to say nothing to be done. Thank you for listening. If there are any questions, I'm prepared. Or you want a discussion, I'm prepared. Thank you, Lani.
Thank you, sir, for the wonderful session on today. Friends, if you wanted to share anything, please raise your hands, or else if you want to ask questions also, you can raise your hand so that we'll unmute you. Sir, you are getting the message in the chat. Okay, Vinita Agarwal wants to speak.
Yes, please.
Hello,
Yes,
sir.
ma'am.
Yeah, I just like I'm Kavya Agarwal.
Yes, yes. I should call you Your Honor in the future, right? I know you. I know you. Yes, right. Right.
Actually, the immediate question like that came to my mind when you finished was like how to take charge. Like, and you said that sometimes till date you haven't understood what your purpose is. So how can like we get closer to understanding what our purpose is? Because this is something I've been struggling for a long time, like figuring out what is my purpose and everything. So yeah, just these two
Yeah, I'm
things,
not a
that how
philosopher to tell you
to
how.
understand our
Sorry,
purpose
your voice
and
is breaking. Is it my? Sorry, I lost you. Yeah, yeah. Can you hear me now? Yeah. So the point is this: do I have an answer for how to take charge of your life? No. Right. But the fact that you are looking for wanting to charge of life, that will give you options. You understand what I'm trying to say? Okay. And it's possible. Some people directly find their purpose in life. They're very lucky people, great musicians, great charity. Your father, for example, and your parents. So much of dedication now there through for meditation and then spirituality, right? They found a purpose. They have the job, they're doing the wonderful, but they have found a purpose. And apparently you have found a purpose because ultimately you want to be, you know what. Okay. So the point is, if even if you don't know what your purpose is, if you realize that there is a purpose, every living, I don't know, I think in the latest CEO Buddha magazine, my article has come, Purpose of Life. I don't know if you haven't read it. So as living organisms, you can't have a talk about system without having a purpose. We do have a purpose, whether we know it or not. You will know that you're moving towards purpose when you are comfortable. You get my point? So, in fact, when Dorian Gray, his friend asked, "What is good? Good or bad?" Good is when you feel comfortable, right? So, if you're not comfortable with something, it's the other way you should ask. That means you're not in align with your purpose. Change it. Change whatever you're doing. Okay? That's all I can say. Maybe other masters will be able to explain this much better. That's my experience. Because see, my only advantage here is I'm an archaeologist specimen compared to most of you, right? I've been in existence for so long that more archaeologists have to find out about me. And I've been through several stages in life, several experiences unimaginable, I can't think of. Apart from being different careers, even though I was a professor, I have been the other careers also have managed. So this is what I have found out. So somewhere each time I change a career, or each time I found a different thing to do, I've been comfortable. So I know I'm in line with the book. I don't know what it is. You get my point? That's what. Yes.
Thank
You
you.
want to-
Thank you, sir. Yes, it was very helpful. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Anybody can debate this. Sorry. Yes, ma'am. Geeta Nair ma'am has raised her hand. Oh,
Ma'am, please try to unmute yourself. We have shared the pop-up again. Kindly check you have received it. Yeah.
yes. Yes.
Yes,
Namaste.
yes. Namaste, sir.
Namaste.
Thank you for a wonderful session. So, I think our purpose changes from time to time. Is it so?
Yes, it can. It can. May not. It can.
But as you said, each time, we feel comfortable.
Yes.
If we
That means you
choose,
are allowed.
if we choose something, we'll be comfortable. We'll be going with that purpose, and after some time, it changes to some. We feel that this is not the purpose. This is not our purpose, and we have to think otherwise. Why it is so?
Okay, no. Please, I don't say we don't say this is not a purpose. In some sense, whether you feel it or not, you have achieved. You have limited of that purpose that you have to achieve. You wanted to do. It's not. You're not living out of helplessness. It's not out of frustration that you're not achieving the purpose that you're living. You're finding something. You can have two purposes at the same time for possible, right? But like a train, you usually go on one track, right? When you want to go another track, there's a change. You go through that. Who knows?
Yes,
You
sir.
may come back to the other one. I never said you don't. Okay. When you say that means you have found satisfaction at that point in time. That is every purpose is endless, infinite, right? So at some point in time, you have reached what you wanted to do for that because you find a greater purpose now. Change means you have found a greater purpose, a greater passion, and probably you do that, right? That
Okay.
is, for example, in my own case, very, very fond of literature. Even today, I am.
Yeah.
And that was one of my purposes in love. Okay, though I am actually, I'm not just a BSc, I'm an engineer also and an MBA. Okay? I did. I found my greatest bliss was as an engineer. 4 years, I was in a defense establishment designing VHF circuits. You remember late 1960s, 70, electronics was coming thing. And I'm not boasting. I achieved so much recognition there. Senior company people would come to my defense hall, they would send them straight to me to ask me this question. Because I was so fond of it, I was so much dedicated to it. Even today, I love that phase of my life as an electronic because I was really creating something which was not there. Today you talk about AI, this and everybody, you ask an electronic, does he know what it is? I'm sorry, they don't know true electronics, the fundamentals of it. So I'm still very, very much dedicated. But then after I found, look, in that defense system, now today it's possible. Those days, I'm talking about early 70s, late 60s. You want to go higher, you had to be in the army, in the defense. Civilian cannot be good. I was ambitious. Right? In fact, I had given up a PhD admission in Moore School of Engineering.
Wow.
You know where? Moore School of Engineering is where they developed the first computer in the whole world.
Yes. Yes.
That is my field ultimately was computer, right? IS. I had given up that. Now I wanted to look, what did I do? That's why some people were saying, talk about I am Ahmedabad, I am Calcutta, there were two institutes. And I knew some friends who were going there. I said, "Oh, and very difficult." I said, why not I try that? I got in. There I found my purpose. I'll tell you what happened after that. Okay, when I was studying there, and people were looking at being marketed, all my friends, I'm still in touch with most of them, became big CEOs, big MDs, chairman of companies, marketing, finance experts. Damn it, I didn't want it because I had already worked in electronics. I've seen that. I did not, I somehow, though they are very high, some of these marketing people, the thing I had a very low opinion of these people. I wanted to be a high-tech kind of a person. So I didn't apply for it. See, you look for jobs. I didn't go for any placement interviews. But it so happened, ISRO, because of Sarabhai, he was also IIM Ahmedabad founder, they used to take only people from IIM Ahmedabad at a lateral level. Many of people like Kiran Karnik, Deshmukh, they're all my seniors who were all in this. So one day the placement faculty member came to me, Dr. Abdul Kalam has come for a meeting and their guest house was right opposite the institute. He is interested in electronics engineer. Can I send your resume to you? I said, yes, sir. So I said, you go and meet him at 3 o'clock. It's just across the campus. So immediately after lunch, I went there, dressed up somewhat, less casually than you normally. Hostelites, you don't care. So I just walked across. Dr. Kalam was sitting with my resume in front. And he said, with a cup of tea, please drink a cup of tea. I drank the tea. And you know what did he ask? Do you want to work in the jungle or the city? That was my interview. I said, jungle. I was the only outsider and only 7 of the officers who were thrown into Shrivastava jungle, where my task was to monitor the progress of the so-called launch pad setting up, which today is very famous. That's what happened. I found my purpose. Beautiful. Can you imagine? 7 of us and young fellow being a lord of the like that. And my technical knowledge helped. My professor, J.J. Krishna, whatever, he was the mentor of Narayan Murthy and other, who was in computer. He was very fond of me. And because I was very fond of computers, those days programming was ridiculous. I used to program a lot. He was very upset. He said, Jagadish, how long do you want? You're a manager now. How long do you want to go back to a technical job? He had already sold me to Blue Star, who wanted to bring in Siemens computers. He was very upset. But this thing, I know I would have marketing computers, which anyway, Indian government 97 they banned importing of computers. I would have been without a job. I would have accepted that, right? This is how the universe works for you. That was my purpose. Okay. Thank you. Anybody else? I feel purposeless in life. My wife. Can you unmute this? I forget. There's this question. I can't read it fast because the chat went away. Unmarried girl, I find no purpose in life. Madam, your purpose could it be to get married? I don't know. And married a healthy life? Grahastha. Now I'm just joking. Can you highlight this lady who has asked the question? Would you ask that question directly?
I tried her to unmute.
Okay.
Jaya ma'am, I have given you option. Please unmute yourself.
I like you to ask that question in a briefer manner.
Ma'am,
So
feel free to ask question.
No, if she's shy about it, it's okay. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
I think if the gist of it is she is unmarried, she doesn't find any purpose in life. I'm assuming you're studying for some career, right? Or are you finished studying and doing something? If you're finished doing, and the reason you may be finding purposeless, maybe you are like estrogen and Vladimir here. Nothing to be done. There is so much to be done in world. Pick up anything at random, try it. Try art, try painting if you want. Try reading. Okay, whatever. I'm doing nothing. Complete. Correct. So madam, this is a wonderful time. I'll tell you my own case. After I finished my BSc, I had a long time waiting because again, I didn't know what to do. I just floated. I had no goals. I had no purpose. All I was interested was reading books. I was wasting point. I didn't apply it anywhere. Okay. Fortunately, my father was a very indulgent father. He never bothered. He never said, why don't you keep yourself occupied or anything? Anyway, when I was doing that, I was wondering what to do. See, I always liked, even today, sketching, putting. I knew I had talent there. And somebody told me JJ College of Architecture is a place where you can only 5 seats from people from outside Maharashtra. That gave me a challenge. Another thing that excited me was, look, maybe being an architect, there are so many architects over here, is where I can make a lot of money without having to run around a lot. That was my first belief. I sit in a chair and a nice desk, make my drawings, and earn a lot of money. So I said, why don't I apply? They just asked me to send my portfolio. I had to send a portfolio. Okay. If I remember, one was a geometry drawing, one was a free drawing, one was symmetry drawing, symmetry drawing, something as two more, I don't remember. So I prepared all those long sketches, that's it, size which, and put it in those days, you didn't have sending it soft copy and all that. So I put it in a binder and send it. 3 days, I get a call. Can you come? When can you come and pay the fee? So I went there. I studied architecture for half a year in JJ College, one of the most leading institutions. So, but then I didn't like it. I quit and I preferred electronics and came away because electronics always, it was my hobby. So that way, don't worry if you're not doing anything now. You will get idea. Do what you can do right now. Maybe reading is like, maybe painting is your interest. Singing may be your interest. Playing some music, learning music is that way. Just there's nothing wrong not doing anything between studies. So this is my advice to you. Don't lose heart. Don't say you don't have a purpose. You don't know what your purpose is. That's all. Not that you don't have a purpose. Every system has a purpose. Only thing is you're floating around. Doesn't matter. You're swimming around until you latch on to where you are. You latch onto it. Don't worry. In between, you may make a choice which may not be right. Like I did architecture. I did only for the fascination of it. Then another opportunity will come for you. Do that. Don't lose heart. I hope I'm clear. I hope I have not solved a problem. At least I have to answer your question to the best I can. Right? Okay. There's another hand raised here. Mr. Minod, yes. Yes, Mr. Vinod, yes.
Yeah, could you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for the wisdom speech today, sir. It was really
Don't say
wonderful.
wisdom. Thanks for the random thoughts. There's no wisdom here.
Okay. Just want to add a couple of my readings and thoughts related to purpose of life. I was recently reading Ikigai, where it was nicely put about purpose of life, right? Like it may not be grand scheme of things to be your purpose of life. Rather, like it can be a simple events like enjoying a cup of coffee. That could also be a purpose of life. So that was kind of an eye opener for me, actually. So I think I just wanted to share that thought with the wider audience so that everyone can relate. Yeah.
Ikigai also refers to von Frankel's book, Man's Search for Meaning. Have you read that book?
No.
Ikigai in the beginning also refers to that book. It's a very small book. Read that.
Okay.
You will enjoy that. You enjoy this. But that's a much larger thing. Von Frankel was a doctor, psychologist, was in the concentration camp. And he saw all this and he wondered, why are there some people are giving in? dying sick, they're feeling sick and giving up, where there are some people have the courage. He wanted to note down all this, and his purpose was tell the world what it was like in the concentration camp. And that purpose kept him alive, and he came and wrote about it. Dr. von
Nice.
Frankl. Okay. Man's Search for Meaning. That's the name of the book. It's
Okay.
there in that Ikigai only, the very beginning introduction, they
Sure.
mentioned the book. Read that book. You'll find it very interesting.
Sure.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing.
I'll read it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Incidentally,
Yeah.
when you said that, Ikigai, recently have you heard of it? There's a place near Abarjat, Iran. There also people say have longevity. They have done a very recent
Right.
research on that. They
Yeah.
similarly
Yeah.
have purpose. Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing. Yeah.
Sure.
Anybody else? Nobody wants to question me? I thought I was being too daring. Thank you. Okay. Laddi, is it time?
I don't want to interrupt your conversation, sir.
No.
It was nice sharing. Like you want people to argue, but people are asking questions. They are not debating with you.
So debating is a challenge, right? So
Hmm.
that's the beauty of being a teacher in an IM, etc. That's one advantage. Is the debate it gives you more knowledge. When
Well,
the
the thing
question
is like the concept which you told today is acceptable. See, I also so thinking Sari is asking for debate. How can I debate the conversation? As I was also part of the session. So, but the points which you shared is like okay. It was a
when are we meeting, Laddi? You were missing this morning in the club. Were you in Bangalore now?
no. I'm in hometown, sir. So I did not
Okay, that's right.
came.
Today we had a get together in the Koramangala club, no?
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
you. So next time you meet person, if you accept, we'll have a discussion on existentialism in general.
Sure, sir.
Okay.
We'll have the discussion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, friends, thank you all for joining today. We all will meet on tomorrow's long guided meditation. As you all know, tomorrow is Sunday. We all will enhance our meditation practice. So, thank you. Let's see you all on tomorrow again. And our next 40 days starts from
Monday.
Gratitude Monday. So, please do join and enhance your meditation practice. Thank you all.
Thank you, all of you.
Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.
I'm so grateful.
Thank you, Anjali. Thank you.
I'm so grateful.